Ruaha National Park in Tanzania is one of the wildest and most remote places in Africa, and it also has one of the highest densities of lions of anywhere on the continent too. So I'm here to meet local project Lion Landscapes to find out how they manage to encourage tolerance between the local communities who are living alongside this most beautiful animal.
In the past few years, Remembering Wildlife has supported the Ruaha Carnival project with donations of $40,000 from sales of Remembering Lions and more recently, Remembering Cheetahs. So when I was in Tanzania recently, I jumped at the chance to spend the day with them to see firsthand just how our funds have been put to use. In 2020, they merged with Lion Landscapes, so it was with that team that I met up. Ruaha is an extremely important area for carnival conservation. As in so many places, carnivals here are threatened by many factors, including intense conflict with local people, as the park is unfenced and human-dominated land outside the park represents a key part of carnivore range. One project designed to help mitigate that conflict that we've supported is their community camera trapping program, and I was happy to be able to accompany the team to see it for myself. Here, local villagers are trained to set out camera traps on village land. Every image of a wild animal captured on the camera traps generates a certain number of points, depending on the likely conflict risk and also the endangerment of the species concerned. So, for example, a dik-dik generates 1,000 points, while a lion gets 15,000 and an African wild dog 20,000 points. These are examples of some of the images that have been captured by the camera traps, and they show the rich diversity of wildlife that lives alongside humans in this landscape. As with all of our donations, they might derive from a particular species such as lions, but the halo effect is that donations help protect all of the species in a particular landscape. Villages compete against each other for the points on a quarterly basis, and the winning village gets around $2,000 worth of benefits, split across healthcare, veterinary medicines and education, with runners-up also getting lesser amounts but still something for taking part. The images captured are also shown to the villagers so they can learn about the wildlife being photographed on their land, which is generating these benefits for them. Later, I got the chance to visit another village to see how Lion Landscapes are helping to reinforce cattle enclosures, known as bomas, from predator attacks, and also got to sit down and chat with the Director of Conservation Programs for Lion Landscapes, Benji Cassio. We see a lot of bad news on social media and stories that get out there. Working on the ground, do you have hope for wildlife in this part of Africa and the kind of projects that you're doing? Do you see that it can make a difference?
Sure, I do have hope. It can be an uphill battle, but I think this is just due to the fact that human population is increasing, habitat loss is decreasing, and I think people need to rethink, and the beautiful documentaries of the Serengeti from the 1950s. It's no longer the way the landscape is organized, no longer the way we can manage the landscape. So I think it's just really important to look at those people on the ground who are suffering from the consequences of living next to wildlife and understanding how can we increase that tolerance? How can we make sure that benefits coming from the national park, that money and income that's generated is going to the development of areas around the communities, because that way they can safeguard and really take ownership and feel like this is our wildlife that gives benefit to our community. And only in that way will we be able to have these landscapes flourish and have this coexistence be successful. So I do think it is incredibly important, the kind of books and awareness that Remembering Wildlife have, and the kind of support for these projects on the ground, linking those people who do see this beautiful imagery with the projects on the ground that know the challenges that the local people have to deal with, and that we can all kind of use our resources to try to address those issues.